The final episode of this session.
Oh, it's been so beautiful. Does it have to end?
It does, but there will be more.
We've said that before, and always the sessions continue to deliver the craziness and the suboptimal stuff that happens. So, we can hope for more in the future. Of course, there will be a new one next week, even though it won't be this session. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah. I believe.
Terminator's going to limp ace deuce +1
Hello.
because why the hell not? And look at these stacks, by the way. Terminator and Austin both have 5K stacks. Terminator, of course, has such a stack because of that extremely strange hand where he had the second nuts against Hank, who decided just to keep betting and never fold with not a good hand.
He had ace-jack on a king, queen, queen, jack X board. It was a very expensive pot.
Meanwhile, Austin has kings, and Terminator just folds the ace-deuce having limped. That was strange.
Yeah, when you're this deep, even out of position.
Kind of supposed to call once you limp
30
there.
more, yeah. And he would have binked it.
Well, this is how the Destroyer of Worlds destroys worlds. Even against kings, the kings doesn't feel good.
No, they don't. But you got to be playing this to check call anyway, at least a few streets.
You can even bet now if you're Austin.
Yeah, you could bet, but you could check again too, and with the plan to call. Both are reasonable. I
He
like
checks
this.
again. It's fine.
See if Ken's
going to take a stab here. King high could be the best hand, and he could sometimes he shouldn't be able to get worse hands to fold.
Not really. Not really.
Austin looks kind of foldy though.
Whoa, when people laugh like that, they usually just they're not. He's like not pretending, not hiding. Is he just going to throw this hand away? That doesn't seem possible.
I think he's
10 bet 125.
Wow.
He bet more than the pot.
I guess that's it. That must be why. And also Ken's table persona and look is very much I have it.
Yeah, no question. And he often does.
But he often doesn't also.
Yeah.
We've seen that many times. His image works to his advantage for sure.
No question.
As we just saw it do. I mean, Austin should never be folding that hand there when it goes check on the flop.
I mean, I'm sure he's making what he thinks is an exploitive fold on the turn based on bet sizing, and he is just wrong. Nice job by Ken to give him the wrong data there.
Yeah, the overbet is what did it, I suppose.
Absolutely. I think Austin just can't imagine Ken would be bluffing there. Turns out he was bluffing.
Turns out Ken's
drawing dead.
Bluffing a lot more than most people in this game.
Yeah. Ken's got some moves.
He's the destroyer of worlds.
He can dance. He can sing.
He has to be able to do those things if he wants to attract the destroyess of worlds for future marriage.
Procreation. Future procreation. The destroyess.
Or else there will be nobody to destroy worlds. In
Eventually.
in 1.2 million years when they eventually expire. We have a pretty fair fight amongst these hands. Ken with somehow massive equity.
No one flops anything, so Marty still has the best hand.
He's going to lead it. This is what we would usually call a game theory disaster, but never mind.
Look at this.
Never mind. Ken's going to call because
Ken always wins. Why
I mean,
wouldn't he call?
Marty does have a lot of straight draws in his range here. That's fair.
And honestly, Marty hates this when he gets called, right? I mean,
of course.
Now he's going to probably look to. I mean, he should probably be check folding a lot here.
But if Ken thought straight draws were a big part of Marty's range, that's a really bad card.
Yeah, he checks it back. Now, what's Marty even going to do here? Is he going to? You could bluff. You could decide to bluff an 8, but
Ken just is playing his ace for the value of the ace, I guess.
Wow.
That's so a bit of too big of a pot for Marty to win there with 6s.
Seems like it.
Ken just doesn't like folding.
I mean, why would you? Well, you always win.
Yeah, that's true.
Folding means you lose, right?
Batiste would agree with you that Ken always wins when he gets to the river, although that's evidence against right there.
No,
what do you mean?
He lost that hand.
Oh, this hand is evidence.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
What do you mean, why not? It is
Why not?
Actual evidence against.
Sure. Why not?
Wow.
I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Sure you are.
Why not? Austin with the ace-deuce suited. And he's going to open it on up like a can of whoop ass.
Yeah, just like that.
Dewey.
You got a little frog in your throat there, Lovey?
A little bit, yeah. Still there.
Oh, look at this. Now we get to see who's the real player.
Yeah.
That's what Vince Van Patten might say.
Find out who's better. He's thinking about a 3-bet, thinking about a call. He elects to call.
Batiste has been very card dead, so ace-2 suited looks like an amazing hand to him right now.
It's not an unreasonable call. He could definitely 3 it, though, also.
Hank gets in there with the ace-5, Snuggie king-10. Marty somehow finds a fold with the queen-4. I'm not used to that. Terminator's getting a great price, although his hand is complete garbage.
And he has dominated in all ways.
Still...
Always except diamond. No, even diamonds. He's dominated in all ways.
It's not completely crazy to call there when you're getting that price, though.
No. I'm not saying you should fold. I'm just saying diamonds, clubs, kings, and deuces. Dominated all places.
Snuggie has Austin has the
Yeah.
nut flush draw. Snuggie has the second backdoor nut flush draw.
And that's it.
Yep. Nothing else.
Austin checks. That's interesting.
I mean, Batiste has a backdoor nut flush draw as well.
Okay.
Not that it
I'm
means
surprised
much.
Austin didn't bet that. I guess there's
I-
just too many people in the pot.
I think it's a bit of a surprise. And now Hank has a 5.
Austin has got a great looking hand right here with the straight draw and the nut flush draw. He
Checks it
again.
again.
Well, well.
Batiste has the same straight draw. He checks. Hank's going to bet his 5.
Hank very reasonably would have to believe he has the best hand. Turns out he does. But
you'd
it,
just
it
be
makes
worried-
sense.
You'd just be worried about pocket pairs and 7s.
Usually those things would have bet by now.
And it's obviously not going to get through Austin. Is Austin going to call or raise?
I legit don't know.
It's
Look how
interesting.
tiny this bet was. 50 into 205.
That's a reason to raise.
Yep. I
It
think
looks
I would-
looks like weakness, and it
he
looks
makes
like
it
Austin
200.
did raise.
This story is not amazing, but it probably doesn't matter.
No, it sometimes it doesn't matter if the story adds up.
Batiste is not folded yet.
He's thinking about putting in a 3-bet, which would be a super cool play because, like you're saying, the story doesn't add up.
I mean, I like that he's reaching for these chips. I think I would probably, my instinct if I was in his shoes here would be to 3-bet because it looks like he's just raising because Hank made it 50.
Right.
Turns out Austin actually has a hand that he probably can't fold.
Like, wouldn't Austin bet 6-8 now, or wouldn't he have bet a set by now? And if he had a queen, he would never check raise it. So, like, it
would've-
doesn't add up at all.
Like 2-pair. He's just betting all his strength by the turn.
Oh, but he's just
minimum.
gave up. Oh, that would have
Yeah.
been so cool to see because it would have worked.
I don't know. I mean, it may not have. Austin may have moved in over him with the combo draws. Who knows what he would have done?
Maybe. I doubt it, though. I mean, like, there's only one card to come. Hank's going to call.
Wow.
I mean, the
Hank's
story
like,
doesn't add
it
up.
It does not make sense. Hank is right. There's a lot of draws. That's a brick.
I got to say, though, if Austin
he
puts in
gonna-
a sizable bet here, it's
hard
going
to-
to have to work.
It's usually going to work anyway. I don't know. Hank is different. Hank will sometimes get stubborn and hang on.
I mean, we did see the ace-jack hand. of
Exactly.
course.
So I wonder if Austin's thinking about that and wondering if he can find a pain point for Hank. Like maybe it's $1,000. You could bet 1,000. You figure Hank's
Yeah.
not going to call with much, right? There's a threshold, but he just
He
decides
just
to give
gives up, and Hank's probably going to check back and just get to win it.
Wow, Hank's going to be very happy with this.
And that's way too big of a pot, once again, for that hand to win.
Well, at least he was bluff catching.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way this pot gets big with that hand, right?
Right.
That makes sense.
I would have loved to see Batiste put in that
Yep.
the next action and see how Austin reacted. If Batiste makes it 650 there, I think Austin's supposed to fold.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. There's 600 in there. So it'd be 1,200 in there. It's 400 to call. We're actually getting the right price to flat, let alone re-raise if we want. I don't think we're going to fold with a nut flush draw and a straight draw. I don't think we are as Austin. And if we call, we're probably going to end up chopping, right? But he's probably going to check back the river, and having seen him play a lot. in
Maybe,
spots.
maybe.
Obviously, any bet by anyone on the river would have worked. Anyway, we'll never know. This is
Sadly.
just speculation, counterfactual. Ken and Wonka, very similar shirts, and yet one clearly from a different era than the other.
Wow, that is insight right
Let's
there.
spend more time on those shirts. Okay. So
Snuggie playing the Jack Deuce suited.
he's going to limp with it.
Marty has 9 deuce off, and
And he's going to
that's a good
limp
hand.
with it.
It's a great hand.
Well, it's better than 8 deuce off. It's got 8 deuce off in serious trouble.
And 7 deuce off.
yeah, a bunch of deuces are in trouble against this hand.
This is an implied odds thing.
It becomes deuce 2-6. I'm going to crush people once in a while. All right, what do we actually have here? Jack high. It's Snuggie.
It's all Snuggie all day.
Snuggie wins the lottery this time. He's going to bet small, and that's probably all it's going to
Oh, he bets
take.
big, actually.
Oh, he did?
50 into 40.
Oh. He said, don't draw on me, boys.
Yeah, he Helmuthed it.
Yep.
Let's play today, boys. It's a new game today, boys. So creepy. So creepy when he says that.
What is even going on right now?
It's not creepy when he says that. It's just, entitlement.
I'm just doing a helmet.
Yeah.
See this? You put a club up there and I'll lose a nickel on the river. More Helmuth. That's from Mount Helmuth Erupts if you guys want to go look for that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Great one. That's a Poker Guys video. Batiste, he's
8-5
just,
suited, nonchalantly talking to the rail and putting in the raise with the 8-5 suited.
Hank says, I rate to have the best hand here, so I call.
I don't know if he said that.
He's thinking it in that head.
Marty has a queen and a 6.
They're suited at least.
Terminator with the same suit, Jack and 7.
Another 8-5 suited for Austin. He's going to have to call. Oh, yeah,
he's in the
gonna
small
call. Okay.
blind.
But
not-
look at the price.
Yeah, but it's a small blind.
It's
You could-
25 to win $1,050,000.
It's 30, but no big deal. Wonka finds a fold with the Jack 4 off.
If there weren't so many people in, I think he's probably supposed to fold there. But I think with all these people, you're supposed to call in the small blind with 8-5 suited. It doesn't feel good.
No,
It's not a great spot.
there's no good hands here. Yet we have so many people
We have
playing.
a flush draw for Austin.
That's about all. I mean, Marty has a 6.
It's kind of crazy how we can have so many people and so little connection with the board.
And I think you could mean that in multiple ways, though. So many people in the world, so little connection with each other.
Yeah, of course
That's
that's
the true
what I mean.
tragedy of life, Jonathan.
What was the
Look at
that show
Snuggy
on
with the
Netflix?
1,000-yard stare, just thinking about trying to connect.
If we're all connected already, maybe I don't have to try. It's probably part of it. What's
That's
going on there?
amazing. Is
Yeah.
that from Serendipity featuring John Cusack? Okay, so Marty bets 100.
And Cake Beckinsale.
Peckinsale?
Beckinsale.
It sounded like you said Peckinsale.
Well, I may have sounded like that.
Austin decides to play his hand as a call, which is probably fine. Although against Marty's button range or cutoff range, maybe we want to raise.
Well, but he got all these people behind him, too. He probably
True.
wants to see what they're going to do first.
That's a great card for Austin. The question is, can he get paid at all?
Well, I think we probably have to check and see if Marty wants to bet. Marty, look how quickly he checks it back.
Marty's just done. And that's a reasonably fine card for Marty, but Austin really has to have him at this point.
Well,
right?
if Austin bets, he's got you for sure. And if he doesn't, he's probably got you also.
Yeah, he could have 6-7, I guess. But if he bets, he does. He definitely has you.
Yeah. 6-7 is a chop anyway.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Marty's thinking about calling?
Oh, it's 220. I mean, okay, so he's getting 3-1.
What can we beat here?
Nothing.
We can beat a deuce that turns itself into a bluff, and that's it, right? Because the gut shot even came in. The gut shot is beating us one way or the other. Either it's a straight or it's trip threes. Diamonds came in. A
An
6
ace
is a
beats
chop. An ace is beating us.
And he's not betting a 6.
He's probably not betting a 6, and a deuces he's probably not betting either. And it's hard to think of anything else he could call with. So
Yeah,
we really need him to have lost his mind. This feels like a good time. Yeah. Oh, it's showing us.
He's just showing it.
You're allowed to
because-
do that.
Oh, and you see that? Austin's like, hey, nice hand.
I like that. Austin's got a lot of little things going on. I like it.
Oh, he
And
calls.
there's the call. I think
Wow.
that knock may have actually worked.
It might have.
Or maybe Marty was just going to call.
Maybe Marty just likes to Marty.
Yeah. Marty Matrix.
Marty Matrix says call.
Marty Matrix says, I know Kung Fu.
No, that's the Keanu Matrix.
Keanu.
It's Quanu. How many times do I have to tell you?
You don't have to keep telling me.
It seems like I do.
Is
though.
that air you think you're breathing?
Smells like air.
Okay. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
It's weird to put a microphone to your nose. Haven't done that before.
No, most people haven't. So
Everybody
nice
should try
job.
it sometime.
I'm sure. Take that microphone you have just laying around in your home, people, and put it to
Yeah,
your
I guess
nose.
we, as the poker guys, own an exorbitant amount of microphones.
Compared to most people.
Like, we own like 10 microphones.
Austin on the button. Just can't help himself. Even though Batiste raised under the gun, he's calling with 9-7 off. This feels a little loose, I got to tell you.
It does feel a little loose.
Feels a little like it's outside the.
By the way, Batiste min raised under the gun. He's just kind of broken now
maybe-
from his lack of cards.
That must be why Austin called this, because of the min raise.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. It's not so bad, actually, when it's only 20. Batiste checks his middle pair, and it checks through.
and now Austin's open-ended.
But Ken's going to bet.
Ken with the least equity is going to bet.
I don't know if Batiste can even really call when Ken bets here.
He bets more than pot once again. So this is a pattern. If you're playing against the Destroyer of Worlds and he bets more than pot on the turn and it checks through on the flop, it seems to be bluff heavy.
Well, until right now that the people hear it, if the Destroyer of Worlds is also watching this and hears it, that may change.
Well, that's for you to figure out when you're at the table with the Destroyer.
Right. But so I'm just saying that advice you gave him may instantly be obsolete.
By the
moment
way,
they hear it, it's
if
obsolete.
you're at the table with the Destroyer, you better hope he didn't just get a scent of the Destroy S, or else he's
By
going
the
to be
way,
in rage mode.
So Batiste has the best hand here. It's going to be really hard for him to win this if anyone takes a shot, right?
Ken feels like he can't take a shot in that card.
Batiste has to check.
He has to. Austin could take a shot.
I expect Austin to take a shot.
I mean, he has 9 high.
Right.
Ken
And
doesn't have to have anything. Batiste has a lot of
He's going to
pocket
do the
pairs.
hard finger check for
Yeah,
sure,
he
right?
is. Of course, that's how he does
He's
it.
got a perfect. There it
Ouch,
is.
my finger.
Every time. This feels like you could really win with a bet here.
Batiste could have a lot of 9s, 10s, and jacks in his range that he's just not
Yeah.
going to fold, though. I mean, that's what he seems more likely to have because he's under the gun when he opens.
Austin almost never has a queen. It checked to him on the flop, too. So he's be repping an 8. But he can have an 8 and bet it.
Right, but the problem is Batiste has a lot of 9s, 10s, and jacks that he's
No,
not
I hear
folding.
you. No, I hear you. But that's what probably.
Oh, Batiste just snap called. I
Oh, he
guess.
called. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he folded. Okay.
Just a quick snap call, and that's
Good
a
job.
nice read by Batiste, understanding that no action on the flop means Austin usually doesn't have him there.
The only thing is, he's only losing to an 8
Yeah.
or a very aggressively played 6.
Right, and would an 8 even bet?
I think an 8 would bet. A good 8 would bet.
Just worried about 9 cents and jacks. That's all.
Yeah, but
But what?
okay.
What else does Batiste have?
7s. How about 2 7s? How about 6s? How about 5s? I don't know. Stuff they can call with. Apparently, he can call with a 6 deuce.
Apparently, but I mean, he hasn't been super active. He just happened to have
Yeah.
6 deuce under the gun there.
Yeah, that's true. He was under the gun. That's a good point. Hey, more min raising. This is now the thing.
I think that was a blind raise from him.
Oh, okay, that's better.
And perhaps it was a blind raise from Batiste also. That would make a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah, that does.
Because
Make
we've
more
never
sense.
seen Batiste min raise, so
Yeah, you know what? Okay,
that's what happened.
they're probably doing. Maybe they're all doing a round.
they might be
or
doing a
maybe
round.
just some of them are.
The session is coming to a close at the end of this episode, so sometimes people get a little bit loosey-goosey knowing that's going to happen.
So Batiste has all those tattoos because he said every time he gets bluffed, he's going to give himself a tattoo so he'll never forget it. So each of those tattoos represents a time he was bluffed. In case you're wondering, it's the legend of Batiste.
Is that true?
Yeah,
100%?
100%.
Okay. I believe you.
How could you not? Look at those tattoos. Those are clearly
Bluff tattoos?
well, they're tails of cards.
Now it'll happen.
Look at those things. Like one of them's a dragon or something. I think.
No, but they'll say it for you.
So anyway,
Good point. Marty's going to bet the 10 high here, and it might get through.
Ken's the only guy with a pair. He does have 2 back doors.
You could call Marty because it's Marty.
I think you probably are supposed to call, but you can get really sticky really fast. Like, are you just gonna call down with bottom pair?
There's not many good cards on the turn. I guess
Five
diamonds,
and 6 of diamonds are really good.
7 is good. A 3.
That is not good. And Marty takes the lead.
Yeah, Marty's now ahead.
Well, can't really afford to play it anymore.
So Marty's probably going to check.
Yep. Even though it's a reasonable time to bet, Ken might have.
Marty.
he does.
Oh. He bet 20.
Okay.
What?
Well, Ken's.
No, 200. That makes more
Oh,
sense.
and Ken calls right away.
I don't know about that, Ken.
Whoa. Well, the spades didn't come in. He must be. All the draws miss
Well, that's another bad
and
card.
continue to miss. There's no way Marty's gonna bet again.
Marty's just going to check it back and get the win here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big pot.
For what it is, it's a pretty big pot.
Like it's not even.
So another thing to know about the Destroyer of Worlds, I guess, is value bet the crap out of that guy.
Yeah.
All right. We've only got about 20 to 25 minutes left of this session. It's been so good.
My heart aches with that knowledge. It's like when you're on vacation, you're like, there's only
Jonathan,
2 days left.
I have good news. We might
Yeah.
be leaving Disneyland this week.
Yeah.
But next week, Disney World.
Yeah, California, yay, baby.
I think it's the opposite.
Who cares?
But anyway,
Do they have-
what that means in poker time terms is new session next week.
Yeah, more great stuff coming. It's all good. Snuggy's going to limp under the gun with the King 7 suited, and Marty will raise it up.
Marty sometimes accidentally gets a reasonable hand, you know?
Yep, Terminator has a ace and a wheel card, so he's calling.
He's ahead. Ken is ahead of everybody. He's calling.
Nope, he's
No,
not.
he 3-bet.
That looked like a black chip.
Nice.
Grant loves it. The ace 9 3-bet.
Hank can't let this one go. It's Hank.
It's at least pretty. And
You gotta
flops
fold.
well.
Oh, you gotta fold Hank.
Well, now that Hank called, let's. Oh no, Snuggy still gets out of the way.
Marty's not gonna fold.
No, Marty's 100% calling his
Terminator
hand.
probably will fold. We've seen him fold in spots like this
Yeah,
before
we
with
have.
hands like this.
Exactly. We saw him limp.
Oh,
10
never
and then-
mind.
Whoa, really?
All right.
I
Well,
guess everyone's aware that the hour's getting late.
this is a 5-10 game. Look at the hands and look at the pot.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Hank not loving the fact he got called in 3 spots when he has 7
Hank
high.
did
but
not. Hank is not the one who 3-bet. That would be Ken. Please
oh
stop
my
getting
gosh!
them
No,
wrong.
I didn't get him wrong. I thought that Hank actually 3-bet with the 7-6. I just forgot what happened.
All right. Well,
Hank actually flopped pretty well.
Hank flopped pretty well. Terminator flopped a gut shot.
He's gonna call, and and now Ken's gonna call.
What the hell?
Ken does not fold, man.
Well, Hank can't fold, obviously.
No. Hank can really force it just flat here with so many people.
Jonathan,
in
I
this
have a
pot.
question for you.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
You know, it's a deuce on the turn. That
Oh
means
my
Terminator
God!
gets there.
Terminator gets there so hard,
Wow.
and nobody has anything.
Marty cannot continue.
The problem for Terminator is that nobody has anything.
Well, Hank is open-ended.
He is, and
Really?
Hank will only give him river action if he's then beating Terminator.
Pretty
unless
much.
Maybe it's a 6 or a 7. Oh, that's too big.
How much is it?
500. Oh, it's not that big compared to the pot. Never mind.
No, it's really not actually. It's
I thought it
fine.
was. I thought the pot was smaller. I just remembered there was over 600 in the pot with these hands pre-flop.
Hank looks like he's considering folding, though. Yep.
I mean, it's reasonable to fold at this point.
Yeah, you only got one street left. A club you obviously would continue with.
Right. And this is just going to end things.
Yeah, I don't think Marty can call again. What a turn card for the Terminator. And he's up to 6,000 now. He's having a heck of a day.
Yeah.
Heck of a day indeed.
Like Miracle the Wheel.
Maybe he'll take a day off from murdering humans just because he feels so good,
Yeah,
or maybe he'll murder more humans
because
I
he
don't
feels so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his mission in life. Obviously, he's the Terminator.
Yeah, but don't you want to not do your mission
Is
every day?
Is it really murder if it's just your job?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's murder. I think it's just killing.
I guess murder is a crime.
Yeah, this isn't a crime if Skynet runs the world, right? It's a crime not to murder humans.
Well, I got bad news for you about Terminator 2.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Judgment Day is coming. It's inevitable.
All right, Wonka finally with a hand. We haven't seen anything
Wow.
out of Wonka for a very long
We
time.
really haven't. It's just going to flat Austin's open.
Both Batiste and Wonka, probably the two most experienced guys in this game, have had very bad starting hands for the entire game.
Yep. And we haven't seen him win almost any pots.
And if you remember, Wonka lost all of his initial buy-in early on in the first episode when he 4-bet ship 10s against Ken, or 5-bet.
Yeah,
No, 4-bet. It was a 4-bet. It was a 5-bet.
5-bet.
It was a 5-bet.
He'd only put 180 in, and he shipped for like 1,400.
Yep. He thought Ken was a bit different than he is as far
Yeah.
as his range there, and he was wrong.
He was very wrong.
And since then, he hasn't gotten anything going. And once again, this board is horrible for him. Austin's going to bet with a nothing hand here.
Does anyone have anything, though? Nope.
Ken has a gut shot, and that's enough for the destroyer.
Oh, yes, it is. Well, this is going to be interesting to watch Austin, because Austin does lots of interesting and tricky things.
He has the best hand.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he chooses to play on a lot of... Well, this is a card I expect him to bet.
This would be a great card to bet.
Something like really freeing about just having queen high here, where you're like, well, got to take a shot.
He has...
If you have 2 8s, you could talk yourself into check folding, but when you have queen high, you got to bet.
Ken's range is pretty much supposed to hate that king unless he has king 9 suited.
Absolutely.
I suppose Ken could easily have king 9 off as well. This
Yeah.
is probably going to just end matters here.
It does. Ken calls a lot, I think, to see what people are going to do on the turn.
Yeah, and then if you don't bet, he bets more than the pot.
Right. He's like, go away now. And it pretty much always works, by the
Yep.
way.
It really has been working.
Yeah. Like a shocking amount.
This is 2 sessions in a row that Ken is up big.
Yeah,
he's
what
not
is-
up as big this time. I think he's
No.
around 4K right now, maybe 4,200, whereas buying in for 1,500, whereas last time he cashed out for 7K
Yeah.
on his 1,500 buy-in, which was the biggest win in Poker Time history
Yep.
in any one
It
session.
continues to be.
Yeah. Unless
Although it isn't
Terminator
over yet.
Terminator could run it up here. He's up to 6K here.
What's he in for? 1,500 or
I think
2,000?
he was up for 2K.
Okay, so he's got a lot of work to do,
Yeah.
but it's possible. It's definitely possible. He can get in a big pot with Austin, he could do it. Or just actually take, if you just stack somebody, that'll do it too.
Yeah, Ken's down to 4K. That must feel horrible
Yeah.
for the destroyer. Hey, Batiste has a hand.
It's about time for Batiste.
The rackets.
Snuggie with the ace-9 off. He plays it just the way Grant Dennison would when calls in the small blind.
Of course, yeah.
Marty calls with the 4-deuce off in the big blind.
Because you can make a wheel, Jonathan.
Yes, you can. You can also make quads.
And Ken calls with the 6-deuce suited, which he voluntarily played in the hijack.
Right. So here we are.
And Ken
it's-
flops a flush draw. I'm going to guess Ken wins the hand.
If it checks to Batiste, he's just going to have to, I think he just has to bet this. Even though, of course, there's some hands that have him in trouble.
It's not the best board in the world, but at least he has the ace of spades. That helps.
Yes, he's in position. You just can't let the whole field see
Yeah,
a free
I
card.
like betting.
So many tough
Getting check raised does suck.
Yeah.
You have to make a big decision at that point.
But there hasn't been too many check raises bluffs in this game either that didn't have Austin involved in them anyway.
So you're saying you should fold?
I'm saying he should consider folding at
Yeah.
least, depending on who does it and how it goes. I mean, if Marty raises, I guess you can't fold. Right. If Ken raised, I'd be scared actually. I'd probably fold if Ken raised.
And that's the Ken image.
Yeah,
Because Ken might raise. He has a flush draw.
I don't think he will. I expect him to just call. Let's see.
He does a lot of calling on the flop. That's true.
Yeah.
And he does just call there. He gives Batista a look and a
Big
laugh.
smile. Big smile. Spade on the turn, make things interesting? No.
Oh, but that does bring 9-10.
Yep. 9, 10, 7, 8, maybe Jack
I
8.
expect a check from Batista a lot of the time here.
No, he's charging for the king 10s and the spades.
Which
and
is
stuff like
reasonable.
that.
And he
He's definitely bet folding.
destroys the destroyer.
Wow. Who heals the healer?
The healer of healers.
But who heals
he's-
that? Who heals that one?
The one who heals that one.
Who makes the clown laugh? Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
Do you?
Depends on the clown, their sense of humor.
Yeah,
Has to be
that's-
like a slightly dark sense of humor. Okay, with some somewhat offensive things.
Boy, that reminds me of a story.
What?
So Austin's under the gun here.
I don't
The
understand.
9-3 off. That's not going to do anything but go in the garbage.
It's called the muck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Hank's going to limp with the queen 3 suited, and Snuggie says,
I would say
What's
these
good for the
guys are
goose?
trying to play a lot of hands because they know the session is coming to a close.
But that would be
that's inaccurate. This is just-
disingenuous.
This is just how they play.
"Yep." Well, everybody's suited,
That would have been bad.
so there's that.
Yeah.
Snuggie's on the button with a suited king.
It would be cool
That's
if
the
one
most
of
justifiable
it would be
spot
cool if one
here.
of the club hands was spades, so we had all 4 suits. You know, that would be so nifty.
That would be cool. But instead, we got a rainbow board here, an ace high, and
Marty
no one
has
has
the best.
anything?
Marty has the
oh,
best
Marty
hand.
has a 10. Yeah,
He's gonna lead.
he was the original raiser.
Well, he's gonna bet.
He's gonna win,
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Weird.
as he should. Best hand.
I wish the best hand won every time, Jonathan.
I know you do, Grant. That's called chess.
Yeah, I love it when I get dealt aces in chess and I can't lose.
That's called thumb wrestling. The best hand wins every time.
Yep, that's true.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I have some constitution.
For those who can't tell, I was being facetious. Don't like it when people say that.
We could share.
I don't know if they could tell, even when you say that. I don't know.
No.
If maybe they think
You
you're
know, when
covering.
you like-
they think you're covering.
Even somebody who's like not in the hand and there's an all-in situation in a tournament, and then the better hand holds up. They're like, it's nice to see the best hand win.
Yeah.
It's like it's kings against aces. Who cares?
What if it isn't kings against aces? Then do you care? Hey, it's
No.
aces. Speaking of best hand winning.
I still don't care.
All right. Well, Ken is liable to win a huge pot, or lose a massive pot, or win a small pot.
Nice. What else? What else could he
He
do?
could- he
Could he
could
win
win
a small pot?
He could win a medium-sized pot. Maybe lose a medium-sized pot too, depending on how the board runs.
Yeah, yeah. What if he gets a phone call in the middle of the hand and it's so urgent that he has to abandon his hand? What is that?
Well, it depends on the size of the pot.
Oh,
How am
okay.
I supposed to know if you don't?
Does this
tell
count
me
as
the
a
size of the
this
pot?
counts as a small pot still? So if he gets
Yeah.
the call right now, he loses a small pot. Well, he's
Well,
not going to lose this one most of the time.
Top set, and there's not much else out there. The Terminator's got a pair and two back doors.
Marty has a
The
pair
nuts.
also,
Yeah,
and Ken's going to bet it. I like betting,
yeah.
and he gets called by Snuggie with 4s.
The Snuggerstein, what is up?
And the tens are both going to call. I don't know what Snuggie's calling for.
Snuggie maybe is thinking I have a pair, so I call. I don't know. I got nothing. Well, Snuggie's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna need a 5 or a deuce. There's a
That
third
is going
spade.
to hurt the Terminator.
Whoa.
Terminator has the second nut flush draw now with the straight draw.
Yeah, he has queens is the only thing that he can win with here. Ken can feel very comfortable betting because he has the ace of spades. Looks like he bet really small though.
Yeah, I did 150. And
Terminator
Marty
has to call.
Marty's going to have to fold. The Terminator absolutely has to continue in the hand.
Yes. And boy, is he drawing thin. He better not hit a 10. A 10 is just a disaster. I guess
Well,
a
he's
10
not
or a
going to
spade.
he's not going to raise or anything.
No,
you
no.
know.
But a spade or a 10 is going to cost him a lot of money on the river, I would think.
Both of them aren't going to cause a raise though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So there's no true disasters. Except
Whoa.
for that, for Ken.
Oh my goodness! And Terminator checks it.
Wow, I think Ken has to value bet when Terminator checks.
I think I would have value bet that.
Well, he got lucky that he's not us because he decided
Wow.
to check back and wow, that is extremely unlucky for the Destroyer of Worlds. That's the first time in 2 full sessions that he's gotten that unlucky for sure.
jeez, that is a really tough one.
Yeah.
That is a tough run out. He's lucky he was in position, and that Terminator decided not to just bet it because I think the Destroyer of Worlds would have felt obligated to call.
Yeah.
Like that's just your hand's just too good. You got effectively the third nuts, right?
Yeah, it's tough for Terminator to have too many kings in his range unless it's King 10 or Ace King, which he rarely has Ace King.
Yeah. Actually, it's really the second nuts, right? It's Broadway or
Yeah.
aces, trip faces.
8-9. Nope.
No, because the queen is the card you
Yeah.
need, right? No,
No,
king.
no,
King.
8-9.
Oh, 8-9. Okay.
8-9.
So it is the third nuts. All right. Well, I'm glad we worked that out.
Yeah, thank goodness. Poker guys at work. Well, we got Ken with... okay, this is a tilt raise, right? Because Ken has a wide range, but he doesn't often raise under the
No.
gun with a hand like this.
He does not.
That's a tilt raise.
I'll show them.
And Marty's got queen 5, so obviously...
So he calls. They're both black, in fairness, so you can make things that are all black.
Yeah.
5 cards that are all black. That's cool. Austin pitches the 10-6 off. Wonka's going to call here with Jack-8 off. Whoa!
What was that?
I can't believe it.
I think he might be a little snake bit.
That seems a little too tight to me.
Yeah.
That seems like, look at the price he's getting. It's $30 to win 215. He's getting 7 to 1.
Well, we're going to have a battle here between Hank and Ken.
Yeah, Hank flops best, but Ken's got the best draw. And Hank's got a hand that he could just go with if he wants to.
Yeah, you could raise. Calling's fine too, though. You do have showdown value.
The main reason to raise, I think, would be to knock out people behind you. But it is reasonable to
You're
call.
not going to knock out a ton of better hands, though, by raising.
You're going to knock out some... you're probably not even going to knock out that much equity, actually, right?
Right, and overpairs would have probably shown their faces pre-flop, so we're not too worried about that. And we're
Yeah.
not going to fold out a set or two pair, obviously, or a straight.
He is going to raise. Looks like it's 225. Certainly going to fold out everyone but Ken.
Ken's going to call, at least.
Oh, yeah. Seems like a very reasonable call here. The pot's kind of bloated compared to Hank's stack.
Yeah, Hank's getting a little short.
Yeah.
And Ken now has a pair, although it never rates to be good, unless Hank
Well-
has 2 overs with a flush draw.
Yeah.
And Hank bets pretty big. This
Is
might...
it 350? Looked like there was one.
It looked like 350. And Ken's going to call here. What do you think about calling there?
Oh, I hate my life either way.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to
We
fold.
made a pair.
Well, Hank wins, and I imagine it goes check-check here a lot of the time.
And we often pick up outs there on the turn, you know,
Yeah.
like even if we're losing still, like a deuce or a king now is almost always good. Not
Yeah.
always, but often good, I should say. So we're probably supposed to call. It's tough.
And
If we're
there's
folding
a-
that, we're just folding too many hands, I think.
Nearly a buy-in to, the millionaire maker there for Hank in that pot. 1.4K.
Yeah. We put that in the bank. Wait a month. You got your
You got
your buy-in.
1.4K and 12 cents.
Yeah, it's closer.
You put it in savings, that is.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Checking, you owe them money.
Okay. It depends on how much you keep in there, I think.
Well, no, I mean, if you have to pay for checks, though, don't you?
Oh, pay for checks. Yeah, that's right.
They always get you on the checks.
Those bastards.
I mean, come on, banks.
That's really the paper industry, though.
I still hold the banks. You don't think they get a piece of that? Of course they have a piece of that.
I'm kidding, you fool.
I'm sick of you defending the banks
Yeah, that's me all the time, every
and
day.
always deflecting all the bank stuff to the paper industry. That Wells Fargo
Yeah.
thing, Grant's like, that's all big
That apology
paper.
commercial is great.
That big paper.
I really believe in them now that they've apologized through a commercial.
Yeah, you can trust them again.
Yeah.
They clearly learned their lesson.
Yeah, I also love cable companies.
Yeah.
I think they're great, like everybody else does. I think they charge an appropriate amount.
Hank with ace queen suited +1, and not a whole lot else out there right now. Just a lot of flotsam and jetsam as Austin's thinking about calling with the 10-9. He does. Austin's a little wide at times with
Yeah,
some
he
of his
gets
flats.
a little wide.
He likes flatting wide with in position, with
Yep.
the cutoff and button.
Got him in a lot of trouble with that queen 9 off in the last episode.
It did, however, he also stayed out of trouble. It could have been even worse, and he's able to.
Terminator's raise kept him out of trouble.
Okay, but he didn't raise himself.
Look at this, by the way. Ken is 3-betting out of the big blind with
Wow.
king 10 of clubs, which is kind of a perfect big blind calling hand.
Does seem like it. Whoa, but Snuggie fold. Oh, that's not Snuggie. Excuse me.
Hank
That's
calls
Snuggie folding.
ace
Yeah.
queen.
Hank calls ace
And
queen.
Marty moves in with jack 5.
Oh no, this is crazy. Hank can definitely call if Ken folds.
Yes, I think
It seems like it's an easy call if Ken folds.
I think he probably should against, like, Marty didn't 3-bet pre-flop. How often
No.
does he really have ace queen beat?
So rare. So rarely. And you know what, if he does, who cares? Let's go.
And it's the Marty matrix.
Yeah. If I'm Hank, it's an easy call. But if Ken calls, we have to fold. Because Ken 3-bet, Ken will only have ever shown aggression.
Yeah, Ken has a lot of big pairs in his range if he calls.
Ken really can't call this.
I don't know
with
why Ken is
Hank behind
thinking
him.
right now. I mean, he's way ahead of Marty. I guess that's fair.
Looks like he threw his hand away.
Yeah.
I can't entirely see.
And I imagine
dealer-
Hank will call.
Hank has to call.
Hank hates folding so much. Like,
This
of,
is-
of
this
all
is-
people to have ace queen, Hank.
There
yeah,
it is. Yep. Good job, Hank.
And Marty's going to have reasonable equity here.
I mean, 37%, but yeah.
That's reasonable.
Okay. It ain't great.
For when you get called when you have jack 5?
Okay.
Come on.
Well, it's less reasonable
Yeah,
now.
this
He's
is
gonna
not
need the
good.
10 of spades.
10 of spades would be a good one, and he's drawing dead.
Yes.
And I think that might be it for old Marty. The Marty Matrix might leave the building now.
He's already gone.
Got straight draw on the riv.
And once again, just like a couple times ago that Hank played, he lost, and came up big at the last moment, and looks like that's happening right now. He's just
Yeah.
won 2 massive pots in a row.
That's right. Yeah, last time he played, he was way down. He got a triple up on the last hand, did he not?
Yeah,
Incredibly.
against
and ended up.
the very unlucky Action Aaron and the very sticky BMW Blake.
That's right. That's right. It was a huge pot.
Deal me out. I'm racking up.
We got about 5 minutes to go here. Not even. Maybe just like 2 or 3 hands left. See what.
We'll see if Terminator and Austin and Ken lock up their wins, and now Hank. Hank's
know.
probably not a lock it up type of guy.
No, I don't think so. We really still might see some bloodletting.
And yeah, Hank's not locking it up, that's for sure.
Nope. No interest in locking it up. Snuggie. Terminator folds the 3 deuce off, though. Shows a little bit of.
I would be very surprised to see Austin fold this.
I would expect to
in the
raise.
cutoff.
I expect him to raise. He could certainly limp as well, but there's a green chip in there.
Yeah, looks like 40 probably. No, it's 60. I like that sizing against these guys.
Yep.
And now Wonka's like, why do you have to make it so big? I finally have a hand I can play on the button.
You're on the button, Wonka. You are allowed to call this. You
He
don't
is.
have to fold.
It looks like he's going to.
I think he's supposed to.
I
It
think so,
sucks,
too.
but you just got to call here. You're on the button. It's okay.
He
60
does,
bucks.
I think he just really doesn't like the sizing.
Yep.
But
He was really hoping to be 40.
yep. But calling is good there.
Yep.
And of course, we're going to get calls from Hank and Snuggie once they enter the pot.
Look how quickly they are happy to get it in. Get those chips in
Those
there.
guys just like playing poker.
Yeah. They want to play a lot of hands. That's their thing. It's fair. Everyone gets to play any way they want. Here we go. Jack 4-4. Austin
Austin.
flops best.
Austin falls to us.
Hank has a jack.
Austin wouldn't think against traditional players that he would have the best jack too often if other players have jacks, but Hank happens to have a worse jack somehow.
Yep.
And I think Austin's going to get a decent amount of value unless they end up chopping.
They're going to chop a lot.
They are.
Any queen, ace, king, or 4 chops it right away.
Or jack.
Or jack. Wonka, that's $60 you'll never see back.
Yeah,
Hank
that was a terrible call by Wonka
does
pre-flop. I don't know what he was thinking.
Karma.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was thinking.
That's a
And
great card for Austin.
yeah. He can probably bet one more time. The question is now or the river.
I think I like checking here and betting the river. I think that makes more sense.
And it's still a chop.
Yeah.
The thing is, Hank
Not a
has
chop,
jack
not a
7.
chop.
Or not a chop, excuse me. Hank's going to bet it, and I think it's just going to be an easy call for Austin.
Yeah, he's 100% calling this. He doesn't love it, but he's calling. He's like, do you have queen jack? Well, I guess I'm just going to have to pay you. If you
Yeah,
do.
he doesn't
you have
expect-
a 4, congratulations.
He doesn't expect a ton of 4s, probably.
I would think I'm beating pocket 8s a lot here, though, and something like that.
And Austin makes $540 in that hand because Hank chose to play the jack 7 off.
Yeah,
under
that's
the gun.
right. That's right. Hank, in fairness, has been on a total heater, and he's playing his rush.
I guess so. Doyle says you can do it.
That's
You
right.
have to think whether or not to bet it.
Doyle wins the last one. He plays the next one. At least he used to.
I doubt that's still the case.
I have no idea. Have you ever actually played with Doyle Brunson?
Oh, yeah. we have a home game.
I mean, I'm not talking about poker. Just like, Parcheesi. You ever played Parcheesi with Doyle?
You don't want to play Parcheesi.
That guy
with Doyle.
cheats at Parcheesi.
Doyle's pretty classy at the poker table, but Parcheesi, he is a dick.
Too competitive.
Yeah.
For Parcheesi.
All right, Terminator's definitely playing this one, even though the win looks so beautiful right now. He could lock it up. And
He
I'm
seems
being
to be
told,
complaining about it.
I'm
Yes.
being told by Tatiana that this is the last hand of the entire session.
Yes.
Thank you, Tatiana. Okay, Tatiana, I get it.
It's nice that you call her Tatiana now instead of Titania like you were.
I know.
You've
Well,
really gotten better about that. Hey, Ken's playing the 7 deuce.
it's the last hand.
That is clearly what's going on.
And Ken, by the way, is down a bunch from his peak. He's only up
Yeah.
1,200, which is, it's a nice win for a nice
great-
hourly. But
yeah, it's 5 hours or 4 hours of play. It's amazing. But for him, it's embarrassing.
well, this is just a stupid flop for the last hand. Can we get Tatiana in here to change the flop?
Yeah. or-
Tatiana.
Can we have one more hand? I'm being told we cannot.
Nope, this is it. This is all we get. And
Terminator's going
gonna.
to c-bet it.
I don't know about this, but it's gonna work probably.
He's like, well, if no one has an ace or hearts,
But
they
these
win
could
a
call,
lot.
I guess. He has a 6, but it's
I
unlikely.
mean, he's probably not going to
Yeah,
call.
it's just gonna fold.
He needs
Right?
at least a diamond out there for him to consider.
And this is
calling.
gonna lock up a huge win for Terminator, almost to the Destroyer of Worlds level, but not quite.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. He's going to end up with, what, 6.5K, assuming these two guys fold. It's not a guarantee. Hank's got 2 back, or 1 back door, I should say.
He does have one back door.
We've seen people really hold on. Batiste is not
wants
folded.
to. Batiste really wants to hold on here.
He's going to talk himself into folding. There it is.
Yeah, he just
there
broke.
it is.
He just broke inside. And Hank is definitely going to fold.
And there it is.
All right, we'll see you guys next week for an entirely new session. It's going to be a lot of fun.
New people?
New people, new fun.
New fun, new people.
party, new Tatiana. Sorry, Tatiana, you're fired.
Yeah, you're out of here, lady.
Totally fired, Tatiana.